for ships, ferries, for pleasure boats coming into the harbour, and I don't know whether or not it's the appropriateness of it now or sometime in the future for that, but it certainly would increase the sort of the meaning and the use, as it were, of this sculpture.
Well, it's quite interesting when you see photographs of Poole over the last sort of 20 years, and sort of like every event, every sort of firework display, it's there.
All taken from the platforms.
Or
the images are taken from the platforms as well.
So it's extraordinary how it has played a part, and I guess this project is just about sort of reminding everybody in a slightly different way.
No, that's okay. No, I think you did say it, I didn't quite hear. It's called Sea Music.
Yes.
Besides the sea which is there going to be, is there specific music that goes with it? Or
there
going to be with
is, as part of the project, we've
Yeah.
commissioned somebody to write a piece of music
Right.
in response to it.
Okay.
And when it's unveiled in May, there's
Right.
going to be a concert of that
Okay.
piece of music, along with some of the music that Caro, he always had classical music playing in the studio, as I say, so there's going to be an evening of music
Where?
with a new piece. It's going to be in, I can't remember the name of
The Guildhall.
Guildhall.
The fanfare is going to be played on the
sculpture.
hopefully weather, and then the longer sort of concert will be at the Guildhall.
and then broadcast.
Yeah, we'll see there's a limited capacity, so we're going to have a big screen in the museum as well, so everybody who can't come into the Guildhall will be able to
The
watch.
Guildhall, you said?
Yes,
Yeah.
the Guildhall around the corner.
It's not very big, but we want it to be then broad.
Yeah.
The ideal place would have been at the lighthouse, but then it's going to be closed.
Because we've got our charity ball.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a lovely idea, having it screened for other people to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Maybe
we'll film it
outside?
as well. Yeah, we're working on that. It might have to be indoors because it's still going to be light.
We're trying to
It's
work out
May, it's quite
exactly.
light. Yeah, we've got the sort of technical, but yeah, we put that into our Arts Council bid. Hopefully they're going to support us to film it, so we've got it as a legacy, and also have it live with wonders of new technology, so we can watch it live.
And it also means that that becomes part of the BSO repertoire, so that wherever they play it around the world refers back to Sea Music and to Poole. So
It's good connections.
yeah.
You spoke about the railings. I can't think what.
Yes, they
Is
are.
that an interpretation of what they look like?
No,
They look light.
that is what they look like at the moment.
Right.
What will change is things like this, which are the same blue as the sculpture. There'll be more differentiation between this sort of part and the sculptural part.
Right. Okay.
So it's a little bit easier to read, because when you're standing next to it, you can't tell the difference between the sculpture and the steel girders, which are the viewing platforms.
Yes.
So hopefully it'll be a lot more coherent.
Yes.
I think we quite often get asked, did the artist want a platform there? Yes, he did. He wanted people to use it as a view out to the harbour, but also he was interested in having different views into the sculpture. So you mentioned you can see it at different levels. And he was working on other pieces where you went into them at the time,
Yeah.
into the Charles Tower, where you go into the sculpture. So this sort of a big extension of that idea. You're sort of going around the sculpture this time.
Has it been vandalised?
Only, I mean, in a minor way. I mean, there's a bit of graffiti, I don't know how they dare quite go up as high as they do, but there's stickers and things. It's, inevitably, it's seagulls that have, and pigeons that have.
Could I just ask one small question? Following on from your idea about the sort of almost being some kind of lightship or whatever, are there any ideas about lighting it in the dark, or is that not what Caro would have wanted?
It sounds like there was lighting at the very beginning.
Yes.
These people,
Oh, sorry, I
yes,
didn't-
yes, they were part of the team who lit it originally, so he did want lighting.
But there isn't any now.
No, it's flooded, unfortunately, by a very tall, which I think looks like a motorway mast, but we're working to hopefully get that moved.
So,
And we have got some designs from a local lighting company who are sort of very well known for their architectural lighting, and they've got ideas which we haven't finalised yet, but to show it very sympathetically, not, it's just sort of highlighting it, but it will be highlighted, so in winter and at night it will still be a beacon, so yeah.
Oh, but that'd be
That's part of our project. So.
Sorry, I missed
It would be a
that one.
slightly new interpretation from the original, but we're going to use Barford's sculptures, his studio. They're going to, and obviously yourselves, we're going to have to the whole board of trustees who are helping us with the project, so they'll help us decide on the most suitable scheme.
Thank you.
One more question?
Two things actually. One was just about the bins. I'm councillor for the Old Town, and we're trying to get the. I've been trying to persuade them to put the bins underground, not least because they're littering all the alleyways and all the wonderful alleyways we've got, and they're full of bins, which is terrible. So I hope we can get that on the key. Apparently they've now started doing it on the beach.
Yes.
So I do have hope that we've got that coming. I guess the other one was just in terms of the Maritime Festival, and the gentleman's point there that it would be really nice to make even if it's just the lighting and whether there's special lighting for the event, to say, this is Poole, this is sea music, it's about a maritime event. That we're not making this a significant part of that festival is, I think, a big opportunity to miss. So we really need to try and push that.
Well, we have the opportunity. We do have time. So I mean, we've got artists. We're hoping if we are waiting to hear about the Arts Council funding, but hopefully maybe one of the artists. So we're going to have an artist in residence scheme. It may be something that they want to pick up on, and it could be a performance artist or a theatre or somebody who might be interested in doing that. I mean, we'd certainly encourage that with the project. Anything we can do to highlight it would be great, and especially, I mean, the crowd's going to be tremendous for the Maritime Weekend, so it'd be great. That's for us as a new audience. Maybe they traditionally are more interested in boats and maritime issues, so if we can introduce them to art and tell them more about it.
Well, it's the social media effect. You've got thousands of photographers, and that was our
Absolutely,
as well.
Yes. If anybody wants to go and do a selfie.
Yes, yeah. We've just started our campaign. It's a sea music selfie. If anybody's on new media. And you can win a crate of Jimmy's iced coffee, which is a local product. So yeah, we're trying to start that, and just using it to sort of maybe get the younger generation and whoever's using Twitter these days to just start getting it known. It's just a really early, fun thing to start letting people know about the project.
But I think because the maritime history was key, Caro had some of those old photographs of what the quay looked like. So the whole maritime history is sort of integral to the work. So it's getting the right balance.
Doing all the questions. Will there be an exhibition of the photographs that was going to be taken?
Yes. So at the launch of the restored sculpture, there in one of the galleries there'll be an exhibition of the photographs. Yeah, in the museum, and on another level there'll be an exhibition of the concerto series. These sculptures that look a little bit like musical instruments. So.
Oh, sorry, one more question.
Yes, one more aspect of the sculpture that always worried me in recent years is all the cranes behind. Were there as many gravel cranes working? Because if you look at it straight on, coming round the corner from the High Street, what you notice are the cranes behind. Were they there when in his time? Did he have to contend?
I think that's probably an answer for the audience. I'm afraid I wasn't here 25 years ago, so you think they were then? Yeah.
Black rather than blue.
It's always been a working port.
And
As I said, I think that's what Caro liked about that site, that it wasn't a sort of precious site, that the sculpture was part of the harbour, of the working port. So
I think
Moving sculpture.
for me, something which I hadn't considered when I first started the project, we consulted a conservation expert, and she noted, obviously the environment, it's part of her remit to look at everything which might affect the sculpture, and she said, oh, there's a lot of sand blowing around things, so we have had to take into consideration that immediate environment of the wind blowing that and the salt and everything. So we do have in place a maintenance programme going forward. So once the refurbishment's been done, the council have taken on a set refurbishment programme, and all these considerations will be part of that. So it's interesting. There are many elements we've looked at. So once it's all looking beautiful, we can keep it looking beautiful. We will be fundraising. That will be a yearly cost. So part of this project is fundraising. So if anybody did notice the fundraising box on the way in, and you have a few pennies, fund most of this project, but we are asking for a small percentage from our public and also from business sponsors as well. So it is important that we show all our, our community, show they can support it with the Heritage Lottery. It's a sort of match funding in a way, so every bit of money we put in Heritage Lottery will support and match it. It's a very generous organisation. Right, I think we're nearly there. Councillor Linder, would you like to wrap up for us?
Yeah, I'd be delighted, thank you. I'll just come over there to the corner if that may. Thank you. That's bad luck, isn't it? Just thank you everybody, thank you Stephen, thank you so much Melinda, thank you. Congratulations to the team as well for having us got us this far, and hopefully on behalf of all of us, best wishes for the run into May next year, which of course coincidentally the gentleman mentioned is of course European Maritime Day, so let's see what we can do with finessing of the timing, shall we? Fingers crossed. I think with a couple of themes I'd like to pick on that came out from the discussions. First of all, absolutely, I genuinely enjoyed Stephen's talk, and it reminds me of on another artist. I was at AUB recently. I like both appreciate the art, but appreciate the artist as well. And in fact, if maybe I'm listening in the wrong way, I actually like the life story of the artist just as much as I enjoy hearing about their work. And particularly with artists, maybe it's artists, or you could say politicians, even their weaknesses and foibles and so on, is all part of the person that then leads them to create things like this and so on. I enjoy hearing that particularly well, and who they associated with, and then actually who they fell out with as well. For me, that is just as enjoyable part of the overall story, and I hope you found that enjoyable too. And the second thing, on a pretty more serious note, I was all ears hearing about some of the challenges we've got in the surrounding area, and not in the immediate vicinity of the sculpture itself, of course, but more generally in the high street. Please, just bear with us on this, because there are many things afoot which Zena's very closely involved in, Andy, others in the council, Business Improvement District. Please bear with me if you've not heard of that. But in terms of cleaning up, smartening up, and generally sort of revitalising the area around this, so that with the sculpture refreshed, unveiled, in its glory, the surrounding area, making it once again an area that all of us can be proud of. And you can hold me to that, because I'm not going away. I'll see you at these events going forward, and you can hold me to the promises on that, and let's see what we can do in the months and so on going ahead. And of course we have the European Maritime Day coming rapidly quickly soon. Okay, so exciting things are happening, and please stay tuned. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Good.
Don't forget to visit the exhibition downstairs, the Lines of Thought. It is very beautiful, amazing drawings by amazing artists. So it's on floors 1 and 2. I recommend you start on floor 1 and go up. It's that introduction.
I have to do that another day.